This is from City News. 11 dead, dozens injured after man drives through Filipino festival crowd.
A festival celebrating a Filipino national hero turning into a tragedy in Vancouver after a man drove an SUV into a crowd, killing at least 11 people. Our Carling Donahue has more on what police described as the darkest day in the city's history. But first,
So this was the darkest day in the city's history. And let's get who creates darkness. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 5. I am the Lord. Matter of fact, let's start it up at verse 4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. And this is speaking to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the biblical Israelites, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west, and that's where we got scattered to, the Western Hemisphere, which is North, Central, and South America, on cargo slave ships for slavery, for captivity, that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, and capital Lord is Yahweh. That's the Heavenly Father's name, and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. Going back to what this broadcaster just said about this festival in the Filipinos, this was the darkest day. What did the Heavenly Father just say? He creates darkness. Let's hear that one more time.
what police described as the darkest day in the city's history. But first, a warning: the details in this story are disturbing.
Whoo. These things are disturbing. Isaiah 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil, which is another word for bad times. I, the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, do all these things. Let's see.
Well, it's a tragedy that has left the nation shaken. A Vancouver, BC festival meant to celebrate Filipino culture and heritage turned into a horrendous mass casualty event after a lone driver plowed his vehicle directly through the block party. The day began with music, food, and laughter. More than 10,000 people gathered in South Vancouver for the Lapu-Lapu Festival, an annual event honoring a Filipino indigenous hero who defeated the Spanish colonizers.
Woo! A Filipino hero that defeated the Spanish colonizers. So they wasn't celebrating Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the one true living power that gave you that strength to overcome the colonizers. Which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man or white people. And let's get what the Lord said about all of these different nations' gods. This is Psalms chapter 96 and verse 1. And it goes into what? A call to worship the Lord, not some Filipino hero that defeated the European colonizers or the Spanish colonizers. No. A call to worship Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the righteous judge. Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song. What is that new song that we're singing? This truth, this book, the Holy Bible that has been refreshed within the earth all over again. So it's known as what? A new song. Sing unto the Lord all the earth. All the earth. Even you Filipinos, sing unto the Lord. Bless his name. You see? And what is his name? What is his son's name? If thou canst tell, like King Solomon said in Proverbs chapter 30, which is Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Show forth his salvation from day to day. That's what we do. Declare his glory among who? The heathen. You Filipinos. You shouldn't be celebrating no goddamn Filipino hero because he don't truly exist. Where is he? Where is that cartoon character?
But as the festival drew to a close, chaos erupted. According to Vancouver police, it was shortly after 8 p.m. when a man driving a black Audi SUV drove into a large portion of the crowd gathered near the festival's.
Look at that, look at that. Where's that Filipino hero? Why he didn't save you from this black Audi that plowed through your goddamn asses? What did the Lord say? Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. Yes, you Filipinos, you need to hear this word as well. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. That icon, that superhero that you guys believe in, hey man, he ain't no God. For all the gods of the nations, even you Filipinos, and the rest of you heathens as well, like Allah, you Arabs, or Jesus Christ, you goddamn Edomites. All the gods of the nations are idols. They don't truly exist. But the Lord made the heavens, you see, which is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And you see your goddamn superhero, he didn't save you from getting your fat ass plowed over. Now your leg bleeding, you're split open.
Food trucks.
This is the darkest day in our city's history.
The interim chief of the Vancouver Police Department providing a
We just got who create darkness. The Heavenly Father does.
disheartening update to the public Sunday, saying more than 10 people have now been confirmed dead. He adds that due to the dozens.
More than 10 people have been confirmed dead. Psalms chapter 68. And verse 20, he that is our power, which are the Israelites, is the power of salvation. He's the one who delivers you from being killed, put to death. And unto Yahweh, capital G-O-D, the Lord, belong the issues from death. So who is responsible for this? Matter of fact, let's read it in the NLT. Our power is a power who saves. The sovereign Lord rescues us from death. Who is us? The children of Israel. That's the reason why, hey man, you see what's happening to these heathen nations around the world, man? Bombs being dropped in Baghdad, which I'm speaking about over there in the Middle East. Bombs over Baghdad. That was Outcast. But I'm just cracking jokes. Hey, but it's not no joke right now. The Lord is judging these heathen nations
Who are suffering critical injuries. The death toll is poised to rise.
The actions of a single person.
The what? The death toll is poised to rise. The issues of death belong to our power.
Shattered our collective sense of safety. It is impossible to overstate how many lives have been impacted forever by this lone individual.
Officials were quick to determine that the act of violence was not an act of terrorism, but they were also quick to admit there are still many unanswered questions.
Woo! They said they're not sure if it was an act of terrorism. Well, we told you clearly who did this. Because guess what? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20 and verse 24. This is King Solomon, the wisest king to ever walk this earth. Man's goings, that man that was driving that black Audi, are of the Lord. So who put it upon that man to plow these goddamn Filipinos for fornication, worshiping idols that don't truly exist? You niggas was out there goddamn at a festival for a Filipino superhero that took down the Spanish colonizer, when in reality it was the Lord. Man's goings are of the Lord. So the Lord had the spirit put upon that man in that black Audi to plow your goddamn asses for some get right. How can a man then understand his own way? That man didn't understand that, hey, he was going to wake up that morning and kill over 11 people. And it was the doings of the Lord that put it upon his mind. Proverbs 20 verse 24, the NLT. The Lord directs our steps. You see that man, hey, step foot in that Audi and did the bidding of the Lord. So why try to understand everything along the way? If you don't know the scriptures, you wouldn't understand that, hey, this was Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's doings.
Why this horrific crime happened?
Why?
The motive of the person
We just showed you why. They don't understand though.
who did it, and whether anything could have been done to prevent it.
The 30-year-old man accused of the
Nope. Nothing was gonna be able to be done to prevent it. And can we prove it? Let's go through the scriptures. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. Let's see if the Lord said there's anything you can do to prevent his judgment. Because that's what's going forth here in these last days. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power, no God with me. I kill. So the Lord is the one who killed that 11 plus, and I make alive. I wound, and the ones who got wounded and didn't die, they got them kneecaps busted wide open, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So when the Lord has a hit on you, there's nothing you can do. So no, there was nothing you could do to prevent the Lord's judgment.
The motive of the person who did it, and whether anything could have been done to prevent it.
Nothing. For I lift up my hand to heaven, verse 40, and say, I live forever. None of us can say that. Only the one true power can. If I whet, which means to sharpen, my glittering sword, which is the ICBM nuclear missiles that the Lord is preparing for these nations. And mine hand take hold on judgment. What happened on this day? Filipino Heritage or Festival Day? Judgment happened. I will render vengeance to mine enemies. Worshiping goddamn a superhero that don't truly exist. You're an enemy of the Lord. You should be giving him praises for you breathing his beautiful fresh air, for you to see his beautiful creation each and every day, and will reward them that hate me. These heathens, they hate the Lord. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. You see?
The 30-year-old man accused of the killings was arrested on scene after bystanders and witnesses held him in place and waited for police to arrive. He cannot be named as he's not yet been charged, but officers say he is known to officials.
Hey, he may get off scotch-free because that's what the Lord bidded him to do. The Lord may get out of jail free card for him because he did exactly what the Lord told him to do. He was obedient.
We have in custody does have a significant history of interactions with police and healthcare professionals related to mental health.
And while officers work to determine a motive,
that's how he may get out of jail. He had a mental health issue. His lawyer, that's a automatic get out of jail free card.
And appropriate charges for the accused, festival organizers are working to ensure their community is taken care of.
The community will feel this for a long time.
Appearing visibly shaken, organizers ensured that those working the festival are receiving support.
We're trying to figure out the next steps and gain clarity on what we can do to heal and to grow stronger. And we're going to make sure that, that we get through this.
Now, when it comes to if this tragedy could have been prevented, police say a risk assessment was conducted prior to the event, which determined there was no need for vehicle barriers, as the vast majority of the festival was actually on the grounds of a high school, which was not accessible by roadway. The one small stretch that was not on the high school grounds, however, is where the lineup of food trucks were operating, exactly where the tragedy took place.
That was the doing of the Lord, you see? And let's close out with the Apocrypha about these heathens' gods. Let's go up to Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 11. Therefore, even upon the idols, the false gods, the false superheroes, the false idols of the Gentiles, the heathen nations, shall there be a visitation. That's what the Lord did to you Filipinos. He visits you. Because in the creature of God, they are become an abomination. You niggas look up to these false idols. And stumbling blocks to the souls of man, and a snare to the feet of the unwise. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life. You see? Look at this earth right now. Everything is corrupt. Thanks to spiritual fornication. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. So the Lord is bringing an end to this bullshit. For by the vainglory of men, they entered into the world, all you heathen nations, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. And that's what we see. Matter of fact, that's what we're going to close it out with. That's what we're going to close it off with. 1 Peter, I believe it is. Bear with me as I get to it. 1 Peter, chapter 4 and verse 7. But the end of all things, all you goddamn idols out there, all this bullshit we see going on here in Babylon the Great, aka America, which all these different heathen nations followed suit. But the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. That's what we're supposed to be doing, man. Call hello Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Kwam Yashala, which means rise Israel, and it's on to the next one. And also happy new moon, which is the new Shabbat for the